The first duty of every Starfleet officer is to the truth, whether it's scientific truth, or historical truth, or personal truth. It is the guiding principle on which Starfleet is based. Now, if you can't find it within yourself to stand up and tell the truth about what happened, you don't deserve to wear that uniform.
That is one of the things that I believe in. We are not Starfleet. We are Gamergate. But please consider that some of us consider that to be a very important thing for us. The truth.
Hey, guess what?
Chicken butt. Sorry.
In text form, like the comment sections on YouTube, on Twitter, on Tumblr, on Facebook, on G+, it doesn't matter whether Gamergate people are right or wrong.
I think it does, and it does matter a lot. But why? Why doesn't it matter?
What matters is the way that they respond.
Why? Because...
to criticism. Whether that criticism is completely false or not.
Okay, again, why?
It doesn't matter whether the criticism is false or not.
Why doesn't it matter? Because feelings? Feelings are more important than the truth?
Doesn't matter if it's correct or not.
Why? Again. Why is this?
What matters is the way that Gamergate people respond in text.
The way. So, they could say that most outrageous lies, if they're said in a polite way, that's okay with you. It's not with me.
There are plenty of Gamergate people who have tried to make videos.
I'm trying to. And I'm doing one right now.
Addressing some of this stuff. But there's still a large percentage of the internet that is text-based.
Yes, and it's being addressed there as well.
There's a lot of people that won't watch videos.
Again, but there are also a lot of people who do.
Now, you know, if you're responding in a way that makes you look like elementary school kids...
Why? Because my dad could beat your dad? Sorry.
If you're responding in a bullying kind of fashion...
how, like, give me your lunch money? Or simply being mean? You know, bullying isn't easily defined on the internet. There are lots of things that could be considered bullying that are just disagreeing with someone and, for example, trolling. Or sarcasm. You know, all these things. Many people don't see them as bullying. But the sensitive people do. And it's the internet. I don't think it's such serious business, but times are indeed changing. Maybe, but maybe not. We must evolve. Who knows?
And I know, let's go into a 2-hour discussion of what bullying actually is. Let's get...
That sounds stupid. But getting a basic idea of what bullying means in some context would be good.
...into a big semantical argument. No, let's not.
Yeah, because you could do it in like 5 minutes. You don't have to have 2 hours. Just an outline what you think bullying is. And stick to that definition, not add in, oh, he disagreed with me in a sort of mean way. That's bullying. No. That's disagreeing with it in a mean way. Just that you felt your feelings got hurt doesn't automatically make it bullying. That's from my perspective.
Okay, if you're giving primarily ad homs and saying you're wrong and then calling them names and not actually explaining things,
you're not explaining things as well. Like, why doesn't the truth matter? Whether it's right or wrong, it matters only how you respond.
or you just get really, really hostile towards anyone that makes any sort of criticism of Gamergate,
Or Anita Sarkeesian could be one. There are people who get angry towards anything. Gamergate is also filled with people. People are different. Some people will go up in arms over any insult of Gamergate, but there are a lot more people in other fields that will go up in arms. Relatively, Gamergate is actually quite sane. Some people will disagree, but I've seen plenty of good, and most of the good side of Gamergate, and not a lot of the bad side.
makes criticism of games for anything other than what should be in a standard game review that's objective.
Yeah, again, that. It's still not okay to go that far. But you know, it's different people. Take sports, for example. Insult a team. Any team. Some people will murder you for that. Take anything. We are people. People are different. Gamergate tries to be civil. We can't control the whole of it.
You know, if you're getting all hostile, you're acting childish, you're bullying, who fucking cares what you have to say?
The people who want the truth. Maybe not everyone wants to have unhurt feelings, just. Maybe some people really do want the truth to be out there. Even if the truth is not pretty, polite, or sugar-coated.
It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong.
It does. And it matters an awful lot to many people in Gamergate. If it doesn't matter to you, that's your opinion. Sorry. So, again, I am not here to change your mind. I am giving my view on this. If you choose to not like Gamergate for the way they act, go on. I will not judge you for that. But don't say it's not important whether you're right or wrong. Because to me, it's one of the most important things that exists. The truth.
Now, I'm not even going to try to claim that it's the majority of Gamergate people that are doing this.
Well, because it's not. In fact, it's such a minority that I have seen so few of these things that I really, if I cared to remember them all, it would be, I could count them on my fingers alone. It's not an epidemic. But then again, I'm not a huge person on Twitter, and I don't use Twitter that much, because Twitter is quite vile in that sense. People just say anything that's on top of their head, and that's what it's for, it seems. And sometimes the things on top of people's heads are this vile and disgusting, even if they are not bad people. Remember, we are people. We are all different, more or less.
It's probably a tiny minority.
More likely, most likely, I'd say.
But they're the ones that get seen.
They're the ones that get pushed in the spotlight by the anti-gamers.
They're the ones that get heard.
They're the ones who get cherry-picked by the anti-gamers.
They're the ones that get propped up in a negative manner.
By the anti-gamers. You know, there is a thing called the Gamergate Harassment Patrol. I have a friend there. And they do their best to go through Twitter and find harassers who use the hashtag Gamergate and people who are harassing anyone against Gamergate. They're reporting them as well as they can, but again, they are just people. They do not represent the whole of Gamergate, and they do not control the actions of all people on Twitter, and also, they don't control the whole of Gamergate. You could say they're sort of damage control, trying to prevent this from happening. But all they do is make these tweets go away. They probably don't even change the people. And when these people get banned, how easy is it to set up another Twitter and start all over again?
If you're not speaking against those that say that kind of thing, I mean...
So we're supporting them. No one on Gamergate, as far as I know, is for bullying or harassing or whatever you're currently meaning, or for hurting feelings. Actually, that might not be true. I don't care that much about feelings. Feelings, to me, are mostly irrelevant. If the truth hurts, so be it. But against harassment and bullying, we do speak out. And we do our best to prevent it. But again, we are not that many who actually can impact this type of behavior. Because we're dealing with people. People are different, and many people, in fact, are like, if you say, don't say mean things, they don't see it as a good thing, they see it as us trying to censor them, as trying to silence them. Some of them do not understand this. Some do. But again, there are different types of people, and not everyone will be nice on any side.
We're expecting Muslims to speak up against radical Muslims.
Okay.
Why aren't Gamergate people expected to, why should it be any different with Gamergate people?
Well, we're doing that. It's just that it's not very effective on the internet. Because it's the internet. And why won't feminists do that? Let's use that.
Speaking up against those that are misrepresenting it.
Well, then again, the definition of Gamergate. It's not just ethics anymore. It's a whole lot more. It's its own sort of subculture on the internet now. And to say, well, this is Gamergate, this isn't, who am I to speak for the whole of Gamergate? I am just in support of an aspect, not the whole thing. I do not like the bullying, I do not like harassment. But making a joke about someone is not, in my eyes, harassment, bullying, or hate speech. You might see it differently. But then again, we are both individuals with different worldviews.
Mundane Matt has said things like, oh, well, anyone can use the Gamergate hashtag.
He is correct.
Well, yeah, that may be true, but a lot of times you can look into what this person, other things this person posts, and it's obvious the person is pro-Gamergate.
You know, a lot of times the hashtag isn't even used in these harassments. And this person usually is a completely new account. yeah, that... And frankly, again, I'm not a Twitterer, so I wouldn't know much about Twitter. Perhaps someone better of better knowledge in Twitter might explain it or tell you differently. I'm not the one qualified to speak in this way. I speak for the way in the internet places I know, mainly Facebook and YouTube. So, yeah, over there isn't a lot of harassment. Name-calling, sure. Insults, yeah. But I don't see that as harassment or bullying. Making a joke or calling someone like that, while not nice, it's still within the rights.
You know, are you going to do the no true Scotsman fallacy? Oh, they're not a real Gamergate person?
Some have tried it. I don't believe it. What is a true Gamergator? Or what is a true feminist in this case? You're starting to sound like you're comparing Gamergate with feminism.
Another thing, I'm betting, you know, if people don't respond to this video in this childish manner, if I don't get a whole shit ton of people responding in the childish manner, name-calling and stuff, I bet they'll say, oh, well, I want you to list every person that says something bad like this, and then we'll do something.
That sounds stupid. Who would say that? Honestly. Okay, I imagine some people would, but those people do not do a lot of thinking. And those are not the people who would do something about it, even if you made a list of 10 people. They would simply hope that somebody else might fix something.
People have tried to list this stuff before.
Ooh, so you heard about Sarah Butts then?
Sometimes people will even, they'll give screenshots of something, and Gamergate people will say, oh, that's been photoshopped.
No, Gamergate people will say mostly, that's cherry-picked, out of context, which it usually is. Or, you know, there is this thing, I don't know, I'm using my native language here, this thing. You can somehow change tweets with this thing, it seems, and then screenshot them. Screenshot them. And it looks just like a real tweet, with only the text changed. That's a thing I've seen that you can do. It's not hard, so it's easy to forge these things. That is why we have archive. We archive these things. Did they archive? Not so much. You can't hack archives, by the way. As far as I know. Probably you can if you're lead hacksaws. I don't think that's being done. So, no. No Photoshop. Out of context and cherry-picked.
Or, again, it'll be the, well, they're not a real Gamergate person.
They usually don't use the hashtag Gamergate if they harass or terrorize or bully someone also.
Count. It's anything to avoid talking about these people that are ruining the reputation of Gamergate.
Ooh. You know, really, I don't know your viewpoint or how you look at it. It's really not what I see. It's so different. Mostly the people who try to ruin Gamergate are not within Gamergate. Some might be mean, so what? It's not about feelings, it's about facts. It's about the truth. And if you can't handle the truth, move on to a different topic. Because it's obvious that Gamergate is not a topic for you to cover. Because you saying, change and be nice, even if you're not telling the truth, to me it sounds bullshit.
So please, if you respond to this video, don't act like an elementary school kid.
Well, my dad can still beat your dad.
If you actually have something to say to counter what I'm saying here, be an adult about it.
I don't know if I'm countering anything you're saying. I'm giving you how I see it. Does it counter? I don't know. But maybe you'll see that not everyone is really like this. Though you say, well, yeah, you said maybe it's a minority in Gamergate. So you acknowledge it to some extent. But maybe you'll see that how other people see it.
And don't get all hostile towards me over this stuff.
Anger, 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 anger.
You know, I'm just calling things as I see it. And don't claim, well, you're calling things out as you see it. No, you're being really, really hostile.
Well, but you are calling out things as you see it. I'm calling things out as I see it. That's not being hostile, that's just logic.
There's no need to be that hostile.
Whew. There is no need to be upset as well. I've been on the internet for quite a long time. I know a lot of dank memes.
There's no need to be really mean-spirited. There
is no need, but sometimes people are just like that.
No need to take that to the next level where it actually becomes bullying. There's no need for it.
So, bullying is just the next level of mean-spirited. Okay, we're getting somewhere with what bullying is. So it didn't take 2 hours.
Respond like adults, please.
My dad can beat your dad. No, but in all honesty...
Thanks.
You're welcome. So, I hope you see it as I see it. At least you acknowledge that there is a different viewpoint on this. I'm not saying I am a good representative of Gamergate. All I'm saying is that we are not all the same. There are probably people who would be better suited to respond to you. I just happen to be the person who makes a video in response to your video. How you see it is up to you. I responded to you as I saw fit. As I'm thinking. Unscripted, on the top of my head. That's how I do it. I don't use scripts. I don't use anything like that. I like to be spontaneous in these responses because making a long script it's not me. Okay? And sometimes some people who are spontaneous are more angry. They are more vile, hateful. All of that. Bullies, even if you want to go that far. Not everyone's like that. We are all different. There are some really, really peaceful people in Gamergate. And there are some extreme assholes within Gamergate. Because Gamergate is a free hashtag to join. Whether or not you believe or support Gamergate and what it stands for, what it's supposed to stand for, which I believe is ethics in games journalism, free speech, and freedom of artistic expression. Some people see it as a pushback against social justice. Some people see it as a pushback against feminists trying to censor and mold games as they want them. I am not that. I have at least 1 or 2 feminist friends who are in support of Gamergate. I have friends who are transgender and who are homosexual. Not to mention minorities. We are all different in both body, mind, thought, and belief. And the things we say are extremely different. We try not to tone police, but we try to remind everyone to try and be polite. But the truth comes first. Thank you for listening.